Hey, thanks so much for watching this video. I wanted to do a video of my wish list plans, which I am going to do, but I thought first it might be fun to do a video on my anti-wish list plants, if you will, the plants I'm definitely not interested in getting, and not to hate on anyone who has those plants, but I find that it's really important to be mindful when you're making plant purchases. So for me, I find establishing the plants that I don't really like kind of helps me to not impulsively buy in the moment when I see one, if it's a good deal or something. But yeah, no shade on anyone who likes these plants, who has these plants. Everyone has their own tastes, and some of these plants have been on my wish list before, but I've kind of decided, you know what, I already have something that's similar, or I'm not really as into it as I thought. So your taste can also change over time, and who knows, maybe you'll see me end up with one of these plants in the end anyways. So I've also tried to pick plants that are actually popular, not just plants that everyone seems to like to hate on. I can think of Syngonium Strawberry Ice, for example, which isn't my favorite. I've seen some really nice ones, but I don't think I would probably ever get one. But yeah, that's just an example of one that I think you could predictably maybe have on a list like this. So I've tried to pick ones that are actually unpopular opinions, but we'll see. So first plant that I've been seeing around a lot lately, Ficus Shivereana. That's the rubber tree that has the mottled variegation on it. That's just not one that's ever really appealed to me. I feel personally, I've always liked the Tinke or the Ficus elastica ruby, the one that comes out with really red leaves and has the chunky sectoral variegation. As far as ficus go, I really like those, and I'm definitely in the court of I prefer sectoral variegation. So yeah, I'm just not really sure why the mottled one is so much more popular. And I think it's really just a supply and demand thing, where the Shivereana is newer. I don't know, I kind of feel if you saw both of them in a garden center, you would probably choose the Tinke or whatever. But yeah, that's just my 2 cents. If you like them, great, but yeah, I personally don't think it's worth it. Another one that's pretty popular that I've been seeing a lot, the variegated Philodendron micans. So I was a pretty hard sell on the original micans. I don't know what it was. I think I was just really in love with Philodendron melanochrysum, and then micans kind of looked like a cheap knockoff or something to me. I do have a micans now and I really like it, but the variegated micans, for one, I've really only seen them go for one leaf cuttings, and often the variegation isn't amazing. It's kind of muddy looking to me. It's yellowish, but not a bright Syngonium aurea yellow, more a muted yellow color, which is okay. It's just for the prices that they're going for, hundreds of dollars still for a little cutting. I feel even as an investment plant, it's not great, because I know how fast micans go. I think a lot of people are going to have them very soon, and the prices are just going to plummet. So even if I didn't like the aesthetics, but maybe I would like it as an investment plant, I still don't think it's a good idea to go for. Maybe in the future when they become cheaper and I see a nice full pot of one, maybe that will change my mind. But yeah, for now, it's a no. Another one that I think has maybe similar variegation characteristics that I'm not a fan of would be Philodendron Caramel Marble. So I have a Philodendron Ring of Fire that I love. I love the color. I love the way that the leaves come in orange. I love the shape. I love the way that it grows so compactly. So for me, that plant just kind of does it for me. Caramel Marble is still crazy expensive. One leaf, one node is still going for over $1,000, which to me is just insane when you can get a Philodendron Ring of Fire for a fraction of the price. Yeah, that's one that I've never really understood. I have seen some that look nice, but the kind of like pinkish orangish variegation, that's just like never really done it for me. Sorry, River is being kind of rude off camera. He really wants to be a part of the action. So, hey, you cannot chew my Monstera. No, you cannot chew that. That's not allowed. You gotta be good, okay? You gotta be good. I feel like another plant that's been really popular lately is the Philodendron Red Anderson. You can't chew that. The Philodendron Red Anderson. Now, like, don't get me wrong, I think that they're nice, but it's too similar to like a pink princess, I think, for me. Like, I see pink princesses that are, some have really, really gorgeous variegation, and I think when you find one that has really nice variegation, like they're one of the nicest plants. Like that pink is so vibrant and intense. Like, the Red Anderson, I feel like is kind of just like a pink princess with white variegation, if I'm remembering correctly, which again, it's nice, but like, I think the pink princess is nice if you want pink variegation or like burgundy plants, and there's lots of nice variegated plants with white variegation. Like I have a white wizard that I really, really love, and the variegation on that plant just kind of does it for me. So I don't feel like I need more variegated plants that are like kind of similar to each other, and the growth pattern is very, very similar. Would I buy one if I saw it and it was a good price? Maybe, but yeah, I think I would hold off and pass on that one for now. Another one I've never really been into that I think still has a fair bit of value to it is the Philodendron Strawberry Shake. Again, I find the variegation just kind of like muddy, and I feel like that yellow variegation that tends more towards brown versus more towards like lime green just isn't really my thing. I feel like there's good options of plants that have, if you like reddish tones, like Hoyas, for example, that sun stress, like they have those reddish tones and they're permanent, and I feel like I like that a lot more than the like yellowish red variegation. I don't know. Plus it's kind of like mottled, and again, I've seen a few strawberry shakes that do look nice, but I feel like the majority don't. So not really my thing either. Another one that I think is popular with a lot of people and used to be like on my wish list of as being a plant that I really, really wanted would be Philodendron ilsemanii. Now, don't get me wrong, like I've seen some that are beautiful. The variegation is very like chaotic, and I like when you get like a mostly white leaf with little like specks of variegation, but for me, I kind of feel like if I like that type of variegation, I already have a Jose Bono that kind of gives you that same vibe, at least when the new leaves come in. So yeah, spending like thousands of dollars on a plant just to get that like chaotic variegation. And it's like, I only see some plants and some leaves that I actually like. Sometimes the variegation is just like, eh. So yeah, to spend that much money, not happening for me anytime soon. It also kind of reminds me of, what's the other one with mottled variegation? The Paraiso Verde. And that one has never really been my thing either. I think the leaf shape, it doesn't look very uniform, if that makes sense. It doesn't look very structured to me. And the mottled light green variegation, like I think of all those plants in that kind of category, like I'm happy with the Jose Bono. Like that one is good. Like I have one with nice variegation, so I am happy with that. Okay, another plant, Rhaphidophora tetrasperma variegated. I feel like there's been a little bit of drama over this plant, so trust me, I'm not just like hating on it for the sake of hating on it. I have never really been a fan of the way that Rhaphidophora tetrasperma grows. I used to have a non-variegated version, and I ended up selling it, even though I had it like on a nice display with driftwood, and I felt like it was a pretty full plant, and I kind of did the best I could with it. I still didn't really love it. I don't like the way that there's like so much stem to such a small leaf. And the leaves kind of end up all looking the same after a while. Like the fenestrations don't really get more mature the way some other fenestrated plants do. So I don't know. It's like if I won one in a giveaway, like I probably wouldn't sell it. Like I do like that the variegation is like white and it's chunky and sectoral. The variegation itself is very nice, but I have a variegated Adansonii that I really like. I have really nice variegated Monstera, so I feel like those plants kind of scratch my itch for nice variegation and fenestration. So yeah, I feel like I don't really need another plant in that category. I guess kind of on the same line, Monstera Mint. Now, I'm not gonna spend a lot of time on this because I feel like, again, kind of predictable. I think a lot of people probably feel similarly where you can't really justify the price tag of like thousands of dollars just for a Monstera that's like, has slightly mintier variegation and is not like quite as white. I think it's just more because it's newer and less available, and I wouldn't buy it because I like it more than just a regular Monstera albo, which at the end of the day, still one of the most beautiful plants that you can get. And I think there's a reason everyone wants one in their collection. But I'm not here for just like collecting Monstera varieties for the sake of collecting Monstera varieties. Personally, in my collection, I like to have the most variety possible. For me, it's not really about collecting every single heartleaf philodendron or every single variegated plant. It's more about having like a really nice plant in each category, if that makes sense. Just kind of in general, I can't really think of any heartleaf philodendrons that I want right now. I feel like I have the ones that I love, like Philodendron gloriosum. That's just like the quintessential one for me. Now that I have a really nice, big, beautiful one of those, I don't really feel like I want others, like Philodendron Splendid, for example. Nice plant, don't get me wrong, but it's like too similar to ones that I already have. I actually do have a cutting of a Philodendron Splendid that was given to me, but honestly, I'll probably sell it once it gets like looking nice. Just because, yeah, it's too similar to some of the ones I already have. And to have the space to like maintain them and constantly make moss pools and that kind of thing, it's just, yeah, just too much. There's one that's been popular recently. I think Homalomena. There's a variegated one and the variegation comes in kind of like pinkish. Now, I've never really been a fan of the Homalomenas. I feel like I've seen a few more like come on the market recently, and I don't know, it's like, for one, the leaves seem small in relation to the amount of plants and like petiole. And the leaves seem kind of like thin. I prefer more like structured and rigid, robust leaves, I think, personally. And I don't know, the variegation on them I just haven't actually found to be that nice. Like I get the point that it comes in pink, but yeah, I just feel like there's better options if you like pink plants or plants that kind of like change color when they come in. For example, Hoyas that have beautiful pink suns dressing. Maybe this next one is one that is not like super popular, but I am not a huge fan of the Syngonium Scrambled egg. I believe that's a Winlandii variegated, and I've never been a huge fan of the original, so I've never been crazy about the variegated version. Now, don't get me wrong, I have actually seen some really nice ones, but to actually go and get one for myself, I don't think I need that. I'm pretty picky about my Syngoniums. I used to not like Syngonium really at all. You know, I found a few now that I do really like, but yeah, that one I'll pass on. Okay, two more Monsteras. One, the Monstera Peru variegated. So this one used to be on my wish list, and I used to have a regular Monstera Peru, and I ended up selling it because I like the texture, but what I like about Monsteras is the excitement of like watching them mature and seeing how each leaf comes out a little different, how the fenestrations change as the plant grows and matures. And the Peru kind of just stays the same, you know, like every leaf comes out the same, and it just wasn't really like doing it for me. Now, for a long time, I wanted like a Monstera Peru. It has like more yellow variegation, but I've heard that the variegation seems to brown kind of easily, which also happens with my other variegated Monsteras, so that makes sense, like the Standeliana variegated. And I think now, because I have a really nice yellow variegated Standeliana and a really nice Albo variegated Standeliana, I don't really feel the need for the Peru anymore. So that's one that used to be on my wish list and I took off. The last one that I'm kind of on the fence about, because if they got to like a reasonable price point, I might consider getting one, but I don't know, you know, like I think I have to think about this one some more, but I kind of want to get maybe your opinion. Like, this used to be like top of my wish list, and it's the Monstera Burle Marx Flame. Now, this one gets these really cool extreme splits in them, and when they're immature, they have that kind of like lobster claw look, which I think it's really cool. And I like the way that it grows very compactly, that the internodal spacing is really tight. I debated getting one, and they've been like thousands of dollars, and just recently they've started to come down to like a more reasonable price point. But I've heard that one, they grow really slowly, so it takes a long time to kind of get them mature and looking nice. I kind of feel like the prices are only gonna really fall from here, so I was thinking of it before as like a good investment plant, but now I'm like, no, it's probably not. Probably wouldn't be able to grow it fast enough to actually make any money back from it. So that kind of means I have to like it that much more if I'm just buying it for myself, right? I honestly feel like I have really nice fenestrated plants already. I feel like the fenestrations are actually kind of similar to a Imidrium medium. I have an Imidrium medium silver that I'm really, really loving, and one leaf came in with like one split, and it reminded me of that like lobster claw shape. So I'm kind of like, huh, I don't really need both of these. Plus, what I like on the Imidrium medium silver is that you get these like inner fenestrations as well, whereas you don't really get that on the Burle Marx Flame. It's kind of like once the leaf shape has reached maturity, it doesn't seem to really change, and you don't seem to get inner fenestrations. If it did keep going and you got like inner fenestrations after a while, then I might be interested in it again. But as it is, until the price comes like way down, I'm not really interested. Oh, one more. I feel like there's been a lot of kind of random Scindapsus varieties that have come out recently, and honestly, I feel like a lot of them are very similar. Like, I feel like there's Tattoo, there's like a tricolor or something. There's like Silver Hero, which is like a full silver one. I haven't really been buying into the hype of the like different Scindapsus varieties. I feel like they're just too similar to one another. And like, if I want silvery plants, I kind of just go for Hoyas now, you know, for better or for worse. So yeah, just kind of Scindapsus in general, I'm not like super into. And I don't think there's a lot of Alocasias on my wish list these days either. I feel like they grow too fast and take up too much space, and a lot of them are similar. So for example, I think the Okinawa Silver used to be on my wish list, but I have a Mycorrhiza variegated, and I really like the variegation on that. And I've kind of decided I just don't need like more of the same thing, if that makes sense. And the Okinawa Silver is a lot more expensive. Maybe eventually I'll get it, but right now, yeah, I have to tell myself the prices are just too high, and it's not worth it when I already have something that is so similar. So yeah, I think that's everything that I have on my list right now. I'd be very interested to know what is on your anti-wish list. If you agree with any of mine or you disagree with any of mine, I feel like I'm at a place in my plant collecting journey where I'm more picky than I used to be, and I think that that can definitely be a good thing. And yeah, we'll see how my opinions of stuff change in like a year or so. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And hopefully I'll be able to do a proper wish list video soon. See if you can guess what's gonna be on my actual wish list now that you've seen the plants that I don't like. Bye guys, I'll see you in the next one.